Hi, I am Dr. Chatterjee. Is talking about the next part of that is amblyopia. So what we'll see in the amblyopia, the very peculiar pictures by the sign symptoms we can understand and we can make a correct prescription of this. So previously already I told you that it is also mostly affect the nerves that is causing nervousness, twitchings and the jars. So if any person is having the nervousness, twitchings and the jerkings, involuntary twitchings, nervousness and jars, we can think of the amblyopia. Next, now it is adapted to the hysterical subject. It is adapted to the hysterical subjects to the teen, scrawny and the women. पहले के ज़माने में अच्छा था, बाद में due to the disease condition, their health become deteriorated. To the patients who are weakened by the age and overwork, बहुत सारे लोगों देखते जे as per age concerned, they becomes healthy. But some are there as per age concerned and the other concern, they are very lean, thin, emaciated due to the overwork and ODs. Okay. So as for overwork to the disease with impairment of the all functions. So if there is any impairment of all functions, so all people are having lots of complications, especially the other females. Actually they do not take care properly. For them this medicine may be useful. Those who are the ones upon a lean, strong stout, but gradually become lean, thin, and hysterical subject, overwork, so and so. Patients are one out of over impressionable. ये लोग क्या करते हैं? Mostly उसका health deteriorated होती है and over impression. The shocks due to the business failure, like the other medicine, हमारा पास कोई भी है, quinine is very important, calcium is very important, Gramine is also very important. The shock due to the business. So usually they become shock due to the business and failure or due to the deaths of one after another in their family. ठीक है ना? So due to the shock, due to the over anxieties and worries, their health becomes deteriorated. Even the death of some nearest and dearest, of course हमारे पास ignition is also there. ठीक है ना? But this medicine we should not neglect these drugs also. Okay, the weakness of the upper parts of the body, mostly with trembling of the lower part. इसलिए amblyopia में upper part of the body becomes weak and trembling in the lower part is very important. So usually at the same time, the usually emaciated and semi-dopsical is also present in case of the lycopodium, but there is weakness on the upper part of the trembling of the lower part is very important. These drugs, slight or unusual things aggravation, the breathing on aggravation, the heart start, the menses and so on. So इसलिए छोटी मोटी चीज में इसको aggravation होते हैं, slight movement, slight and heart का problem, so and so. This medicine has also one-sided complaint also. ये medicine में सबसे क्या देखा? One-sided complaint, ठीक है ना? Symptoms start suddenly change from place to place. हमारा pulse का मापिक है, lactate का मापिक है, lactasis का मापिक है, lycopodium का मापिक है, changing place हमेशा. Sensation of coldness, numbness in spots of the single parts. Particular part में, special activities में, coldness, numbness, particular area, spots, and the fingers and arms are seen. With twitching, itching, trembling, and evolutions. कोई particular जगह में itching है, twitching है, evolutions है, and so on. General pulsation भी मिलते, numbness and taut power of the whole body, especially in the morning. कोई जगह में मुझे आ जाते, numbness, weakness, prostration, whole body especially early in the morning. ठीक है ना? Next, effects of domestic shock and the business or acceptable body. ठीक है ना? Usually there is any worries about the business or about the business and the domestic shock. So these are very important. Actually क्या होता है, this is very, I told you previously, this medicine is mostly useful in case of the old age, old people, old age. So they become easily affected. They become very sensitive, and they does not like to be tortured. So if anybody tortured or mentally they abused or any criticizes, they become so easily affected. So whole body, especially in the morning, and this is the found, and numbness of the part is very important, and symptoms suddenly change from one place to another is very important. Next number, sensation, coldness, numbness, already told, itching, tummy बोला मैं, effects of domestic और मैं बोल दिया, loss of nearer of the relatives, कभी कभी देखोगे, loss of the nearest people. इसमें शॉक में most of the time हम लोगों इग्निशिया का दोष करते, कैलकेरा फर्स्ट इसका दाई करते हैं. But in case of the death of nearer, don't neglect the that is this amblyopia, because of especially it may be male or may be female, because ओल्ड एज में किसी को कोई फ्रेंड ये चाहिए, रिश्ता चाहिए. इसलिए कभी कभी देखा गया कोई अगर हस्बैंड है जिंदा है, वाइफ मर गया, तो बहुत मायूस हो जाते हैं, इंडिफरेंट हो जाता है, किसी से बात नहीं करते, ऐसे प्रॉब्लम हो जाते, खाना टाना छोड़ देते और कुछ कर लेते, ठीक है ना. सो दिस इज happening everywhere, but we should think in that directions. Okay, loss of near of relatives, ignitia hai, but whenever ignitia fails, then think of ammonia, amblyopia, old people especially. And imaginations, young modern society girls. So कभी कभी हम लोग सोचते सिर्फ ओल्ड पीपल के लिए नहीं, but young women, girls and modern girls are also important. अगर वर्ड्स म्यूजिक प्रॉब्लम कैसे म्यूजिक में है, इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ द अदर पीपल्स है, ओके, एम्ब्रेसमेंट में एग्रावेशन है, एजिटेशन में एग्रावेशन है, वुडी और द थिंग है, इन एनी वुडीज एजिटेशन एग्रावेशन है, इवन ओवरलिफ्टिंग इज ऑल्सो अनदर थिंग. फ्रॉम एनी अनयूजुअल थिंग, morning, warm milk में aggravation है. Better slow motion, okay. So better in the slow motion is very important symptoms, ठीक है ना. Slow motion in open air, lying on in painful side is very important. Cold drinks is also important. Mind, memory impaired, very slow comprehensible, ठीक है ना. Mind, memory is very slow and dull and is not easily comprehensible. Dreaming, fitting ideas of fixed disagreeable fancies, fitting ideas or fixed ideas, disagreeable fancies, ये दुनिया का तरीके इसका चलता नहीं. Imagines diabolic faces light, melancholy, sits for the days for the weeping. कभी कभी देखा जाए पेशेंट 4-5 दिन से इवन वीक्स उधर वो लोग मेलानकुली है, रोते, डिप्रेशन में चला जाते, ऐसे परिस्थिति. दे आर बिकम वेरी ऑकर्ड मीन्स कोई हाथ सामान से गिर जाते, ऐसे पेशेंट. फिटिंग, फ्लाइटली टॉकर, कभी कभी ये लोग बहुत ज़्यादा बोलते भी, ऐसे भी पेशेंट मिल जाते. और क्या है, ड्रीड्स ऑफ पीपल, डिजायर टू बी अलोन, अकेला रहना पसंद करते हैं, and cannot understand what he needs. This is another factor of these drugs. Okay, it cannot understand what one needs. जो कुछ पढ़ते वो समझ नहीं पाते. They become very sad, they bashful, लाजुक, blush से easily दुखी हो जाते हैं. Hearing others talks and talking himself affect him. कोई अगर उसके बारे में कुछ बोलते सुनते तो डिस्टर्ब हो जाता. ये एक स्टेज है ओल्ड एज में, वो लोग वेरी सेंसिटिव हो जाते हैं. सो इट इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मेडिसिन फॉर बिकॉज ऑफ ओल्ड पीपल. feels. Okay, and time passes slowly. Aversion to laugh, इसलिए ये लोग हंसते नहीं पढ़ते. Jumping from one subject to another, never waiting to have first question answered. कभी कभी क्या करते हैं कि क्या बोलते समझ नहीं पाते, कोई कुछ बोलते इवन कोई वेट भी नहीं कर पाता. Music causes weeping and trembling. This is another characteristic symptoms of the drugs. Music causes weeping and trembling and so on. Okay. Next number देखो जे है vertigo, senile vertigo, like the conambulotam, with weakness in the head and the stomach, tearing pain in upper part of the brain, tearing pain in upper part of the brain feels loose, falls to side lane. Okay, brain loose है, falls to side lane, hair falls out like the varietal acid falls and so on. Confusion of the occiput, also strained feeling, headache aggravation, and blowing at nose is headache aggravation. Graphitis basically. Eye stiffness, eyelids, stitching in the eyelids, as if a style were being formed, and that the stitching pain in the eyes. Eyelids heavy, cannot open them through eye oak. ये लोग खुल नहीं पाते. Spots flowed before the eyes after seeing. So कभी कभी देखा गया जो ये करते स्विम करने के बाद some spots are flowing in front of you. हमारे पास दो मेडिसिन है, पल्सिट्ला भी है, क्लोमोकोडिया बोलते हैं मेडिसिन है, even the phosphorus में भी है. Okay, the ears, that the hardness of the hearing with cold sensation in the abdomen, hardness of the hearing. देखो कोना मैकुलेटर में भी है, deep in one and roaring and vision in the other. This is very important symptoms of these drugs. एक कान में ये roaring है, another ear में क्या देखते, that is the whistling sound or something else. ठीक है ना? Nose bleeding while washing the face in the morning. इसका नाक में bleeding होते while washing the face. कौन कौन मेडिसिन है हमारा पास? मेडिसिन अनरिकमेंडेड is very important. Don't neglect unrecommended. Another is the calcarea carb. Another is the ammon carb. Another is the ferrum falls. Okay. So you can think of epistaxis during menses. Very important symptoms of the drugs. Epistaxis during menses, and this is very important. Stoppage mostly at night. Epistaxis and नाक का ब्लीडिंग होना, इवन नाक बंद होना रात में, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सिम्टम. हमारे पास है नाक का काली बीज, काली वाइग्रोम, काली आयो, इवन अमोनियम कार्बोनिक, एंड दे ब्रेक थ्रू द माउथ विथ क्रॉनिक कराइजा. इवन हमारे पास और मेडिसिन है नाक का एलियम सिकार एंड सो ऑन. Even alternately blockage, these also have so many medicines. Next, our face twitching of the facial muscles, cramps in the leaves of the leaves hot, left cheek is the red, but the right cheek may not be. Flashes of face, jaundice color, embarrassed look, jaw clog, newborn like dish, mouth, profuse bleeding from the gums, offensive breath, and ranula. So कभी कभी देखा गया है profuse bleeding होते from the gums, offensive breath भी है, ranula one type of जीभ का नीचे कैंसर है, sour mouth aggravation है, aggravation after meal and so on, salivation with the cough is there. There is the throat symptom sensation अजीब, plug like sensation in the throat. हमारे पास अर्जेंटाइटिक है, यहाँ पर नाइट्रिक एसिड है ना, हीपर सल्फर है, देख लेना. So plug like sensation very important of the disability with difficulty in the swallowing, sore raw from exposure to air, swelling, sore raw exposure to air, aggravation and motion of the tongue. ठीक है ना. Stomach also have some very various signs and symptoms. In stomach, after eating, cough and gapping and feeling as if food did not go down to the stomach. कौन तरफ से जा रहा है को समझ नहीं पाते. That is the irritations, violent convulsive cough, Lactation with convulsions are very important. Heartburn from drinking milk, ये भी एक बात है. Heartburn from drinking milk, maybe this is also one of the very important symptoms. So milk aggravation, Campira group, all the carbonic group, and lycopodium, silicea, sulfur, and so on. Distension of the stomach after midnight is also after midnight aggravation. हमारे पास arsenic group में है, and then the thirstlessness is very important. हमारे पास arsenic is very thirsty. Abdomen cannot have other present during the urination and stool. Aggravation during the pregnancy, during stool, during pregnancy aggravation is very important. So complex constipation during pregnancy and after delivery. Constipation during pregnancy and after delivery very important. Legs flow blood with stools. Sweat on abdomen and thigh. Sweat on abdomen and thigh. Frequent ineffectual urging for the stool. This is also very important symptoms of the drug. Urinary pain in the bladder and rectum, and same time cannot pass urine in presence of the others. Filling of the urethra as if few drops passed out. Urine turbid even during emissions. Turbid even during emissions, forming a brown sediment. Urinate more than the drinks. ये भी एक बात है, मार्शल में भी है. More than he drinks, urinate. Urine is sour and during whooping cough, खट्टापना है. During whooping cough भी है. Burning, starting, itching in vulva during urinations, and urination time burning, itching, burning symptoms are there. Next is the male. Voluptuous excitement of the sexual desire and itching in the genitals. Old people का sexual desire, voluptuous itching is very important symptoms of these drugs. Okay, Ambraglia is there, and this medicine also there. Even if you go to the Metimedica, some other drugs also there. You mix, उसमें भी लिखा है. Violent dressing, Hipersulfur में भी लिखा है. Violent dressing, Soranum में भी लिखा है. Petroleum में लिखा है. Violent dressing. Okay, the parts are extremely numb, burn and internally. तो एक खुजालते खुजालते इनका तकलीफ चालू हो जाती है. Show parts erections without voluptuous sensations is also very important symptoms of these drugs. Next number देखो जी, और क्या देखने का इसके अंदर? We can see that the impotency is a very important symptoms of the drugs. And the females itching of pudendum, itching of pudenda with soreness and swelling, itching of pudenda with soreness and swelling. So in like this, in case of the males and females, there is excessive rawness of the affected part, itching and scratching. Due to heavy scratching, there is a feeling, pain, scratching and other complications and so on. Discharges blood between the periods. Every little accident, incident, even the heart stool, walking little longer is also causing the bleeding, especially. Even sometimes there will be intermittent bleeding also can be found. Leukorrhea of the bluish mucus is very important symptoms of that class. So leukorrhea, bluish type, very uncommon people are symptoms of that class. And what will we find it? The profuse aggravation at night, sexual desire increased, oryx of the vulva, sexual desire increased, lying down aggravation and uterine symptoms. Okay, lying down aggravation, uterine symptoms very important. Menses too early to profuse also there. Then comes question about the respiratory disorders, asthmatic breathing in the old people, aggravation by the cohesion, very uncommon people symptoms. Asthmatic aggravation by cohesion, after cohesion. The condition is the aggravation, very uncommon people symptoms. Hollow spasmodic barking cough coming from the deep in the chest and eructations, as if it is coming from the deep chest and eructations. Bluish white expectorations, cough aggravation by music, cough aggravation by the music in presence of the many people, is laughing, talking, reading also aggravates the cough, loss of breath from the cough, loss of breath from the cough with emaciation. Okay, cough with emaciation. It may be the tubercular. As a result of there may be the cough with emaciation. There is the heart. The heart is palpitations with the pressure in the chest as from the lump is lost. Pressure of heart is as if a lump is lost in the heart and as if chest was obstructed. The palpitation with pale face. Anxiety about the heart is very important symptoms of the drugs. Anxiety about the heart. Okay. So we are very cautious about it. Early in the morning, old people, these are the possibilities, is very important. Extremities cramps, extremities when the cramps in the hands and fingers, aggravation, grasping anything, cramping sensation. The legs becomes quite blue during the menses, twitching of the limbs are twitching with coldness of the body during sleep, okay, coldness of the body and thus during sleep twitchings is there, cramps and the fingers, nails are brittle. हम जानते हैं हमारे पास फिंगर नेल्स ब्रिटल, एंटीक्रोट, हमारे पास क्रियोजोट, हमारे पास ग्राफाइटिस, साइलिशिया, नट्राम्यूर are there whose fingers are nails are become brittle. Silicea है, drops that one of these carrying have awkwardness. It is called the awkward feeling when the hands are someone but the boots are dropped. That is very awkwardness. That also present in these drugs. Okay, which are they are carrying. Next number क्या देखेंगे? Coldness of the hands with a headache is very uncommon. People are symptoms of the drugs. Sore and raw between the thigh. It is also another very important symptoms of the drugs. Sore and raw between the thigh. Sometimes it has been found there is due to the frictions. That may be showing another drug, ammonium carbonate, petroleum. This type of symptoms are also present. So we will find it where this type of symptoms present. On the basis we can think on it. Sleep, cannot sleep from OD. They cannot go to the sleep due to the ODs. इसलिए if any patient cannot sleep due to OD, हमारे पास बहुत से medication है. हमारे पास कोनामेक्रोटा है, बाराइटा ग्रुप, बाराइटा का also है, OD's aggravation, ब्राउनिया भी है, due to financial loss, calcula 4 है, even the CPR, okay, the loss of financial loss, business, कोनामेक्रोटा, CPR भी है, due to the loss of OD and must get up, ये है, and ammonium, ambragnesia, these medicine also having the same type of symptoms. ठीक है ना? Next command, what we will find it, another things, retired stat, the persons, those who are leading the retirement, the people are become stirred, wakeful as from touches the pillow. जैसे वो टच करते पिलो में उस टाइम वो so wakefulness whenever they touches the pillow, that is very uncommon people are symptoms of the drugs. Okay, इसलिए हम लोग को होम्योपैथी में सब कुछ देखना पड़ता है. What is going on, where there is the problem, what can be treated, what cannot be treated. Okay, all the patients cannot be cured, mind it. Another thing is that is the skin's retired persons, mind it, skin of the retired persons. Any problem of the retired persons, we can think of number of issues. ठीक है ना? And wakefulness as soon as they touches the pillow, it is also another thing is that they go wakeful, and that is the cough. If we cough due to the touches the pillow, the belladonna is there, alumina is there, drosera is there, hyacinth is there, conam maculatum is there. We have to distinguish from one medicine to the another. So this is happening in everywhere. When there is a wakefulness and there are complications, so and so. And second thing, retired, stirred, wakeful as soon as touches the pillow. Next thing, itching and soreness, especially around the genitals. So this is very important symptoms of the drugs. itching and soreness especially around the genitals. तो कभी कभी itching होते around the genitals, there soreness है due to the over scratching and itching. Okay, so while prescribing, you must think about it. You must consider what is going on where and how it is going to be curable and treatable. Next number, what you will find there, if there is any fever, okay. If there is any fever, frequent flashes of it as short interval. कभी कभी हम फीवर में देख लेते हैं शॉर्ट इंटरवल में, हाँ इसका फीवर है, heat and short interval, and the pupillary characteristics especially should be old people, those who are the apathetic, very shy in nature, and those who are under tension or gloomy, for them sweat on slightest exertions, sweat on slightest exertions, especially on the abdomen and the thigh. इसलिए इनका sweating जो particularly है, especially in the abdomen and the thigh. So it is very interesting. ये क्या क्या देखने का ना इसके अंदर. Then question comes about the related derivatives. Okay, so if we see the related derivative is mostly of the baryta carb, हमारे पास ignatia, argenta niticum, causticum, baryta carb, alumina. These medicines are mostly in favor of the, and kali carb. So many drugs are there which may be useful in case of the old people, old Persians, and this type of symptoms. So we can compare it from one medicine to another. The old people having some lots of complaint. These are called the geriatric diseases. In some cases where there is the geriatric complaints and geriatric diseases, the people have some lots of complaints and others. And these are under the old fellows of problem. The conam maculatum is one of them. Conam maculatum helps us a lot for the curing purposes of this type of people. Even if we find it, the conam maculatum old age, and there is a vertigo, especially while awakening or while sitting to standing position, there will be vertigo is there. So conam maculatum is very important. But if there is any old people problem, especially on there is a hypertrophy of the gland or old people ka prostatic problem, we must think of the drugs. Old people, the lycopodium is also another important for the old people. हमारे पास ये है conam maculatum है. conam maculatum is also important for the old people. पर baryta carb भी है हमारे पास, फेरम फॉस भी है, काली कार्बोनिकम भी है. हाँ, ओल्ड पीपल प्रॉब्लम. ओल्ड पीपल के लिए argenta niticum is very important medicines. They become very hurried. There is a gastric problems and the patient cannot control in anything. They are distracted from sweet and other things. Okay. So don't neglect the conam maculatum, this argenta niticum. Even alumina. Alumina is also one of the very important medicine for the case of old people. Even in case of alumina, the skin symptoms, desire aversion is different, and so on. Even in old people, baryta carb also very important. Baryta iode. हम baryta carb क्या देखेंगे? Idiopathic cause. There is a weakness prostration and baryta carb the glandular inflammations. If there is any prostatic problem, old people के लिए, we can think of the subulcerulata. Mother tincture is very important. Old people के लिए, so subulcerulata is very important in that cases. ठीक है ना? Old people, don't neglect old people subulcerulata for prostatic problem. Somebody prefers also ferrampos, picric acid, like these drugs. Even old people, laches is also very important. They become very talkative. We can think of the laches also. Okay. And old people के लिए हमारा पास other medicine tali group में भी है. And Plumma metallica. So in case of the Plumma metallica, if there is a constipation severe, due to the constipation, the patient can and this abdomen become distended and horribly distended. The patient is unable to do anything. Old people के और कौन है? Opium. Opium is a very important medicine for old people. Opium में क्या देखेंगे? Either there is a constipation or the loose stools. So whenever when best selected remedy fails, we can think of the opium. But opium also having the same problem. They are producing this type of sign symptoms. Constipation like this. Stana metallica, opium, Plumma metallica, black stone saccharine. Digital is also very so having the heart problem. So old people, it is as per the symptoms concerned, we must think of it. Okay. But among them, the Sambraglacea is very important medicine. We should not neglect it. And as per the sign symptom concerned, we have to prescribe this medicine. Only one medicine should be prescribed on behalf of it. So, in case of the old people, there are lots of cephalina, medulina, this and that are also there. But basically, as per the symptomatic concern, as per old people, old concern, we have the very limited medicines. And not only that, along this way, there are some other criteria are there. Even there is opium in the loss of sleep. Even some kind of coffea is a medicine for the old people. There is a very problem due to the sleep disturbance are there. Okay, so there is not single medicine, not only the Ambraglacea, but there are so many solutions used. Okay, thank you, completed. Just go through other books. You must remember it that no knowledge, no books is complete, nobody is complete. Every there is some lacuna. To get the knowledge, you must have to read different types of books. Then you can understand it. Okay, thank you. The Ambraglacea is completed. Bye.